Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes in life you will notice something strange. The smarter you become, the more alone you feel. Not because you dislike people, not because you want to isolate yourself, but because growth changes your eyes. When you begin to understand life deeply, your heart starts demanding peace, honesty, respect, and stability. And these things are not found everywhere. They are not found in everyone. Smart people value peace over popularity because, with time, they learn the real weight of inner calm. When a person becomes more aware, more thoughtful, and more emotionally mature, they start noticing how their surroundings affect their mind. They see how noise from the world can easily enter their heart. They feel how unnecessary conversations drain their energy, how fake appreciation feels hollow, and how social pressure forces people to pretend instead of being themselves. Popularity often demands performance. It asks you to fit into certain circles, please certain people, follow certain trends, and say yes even when your heart wants to say no. But peace asks for something entirely different. Peace asks for honesty with yourself, space for your thoughts, and courage to walk away from anything that disturbs your spirit. And this is why smart people choose peace. As people grow mentally, they stop needing validation from the crowd. They stop caring about being seen everywhere, being accepted by everyone, or being praised by strangers. They learn that real growth happens in silence, and real strength is built in moments when no one is watching. They start valuing their own inner voice more than the noise of the world. They understand that peace is not something you find outside. It is something you protect from inside. So every time life gives them a choice between being popular in a room full of noise or being peaceful in a corner of solitude, they choose the corner because that corner gives them clarity, stability, and purpose. Smart people have also seen the hidden cost of popularity. They have watched how people lose themselves trying to fit into groups that don't even care about their dreams. They have seen how relationships built on social convenience break as soon as life becomes difficult. They have realized that being surrounded by many people does not guarantee support, understanding, or loyalty. In fact, very often, the crowd only stays when things are exciting, impressive, or beneficial for them. The moment life becomes quiet, hard, or disciplined, the crowd slowly walks away. Smart people don't want that temporary attention because they know it will never help them grow. They want peace because peace stays with them in every phase of life, even the difficult ones. Another reason smart people value peace is because their mind is constantly thinking, analyzing, planning, and creating. Their brain is always active, and for such a mind, chaos is poison, drama is poison, fake friendships are poison. Loud circles become exhausting. Smart minds need space to breathe, think, and evolve. They need silence to build ideas, time to reflect on decisions, and emotional stability to keep moving forward with confidence. Peace gives them that environment, while popularity often steals it. They also understand that peace builds self-respect. When you choose peace, you choose boundaries. You learn to say no to things that disturb your mental world. You stop allowing people to misuse your time. You stop tolerating situations that drain your positivity. You stop giving discounts on your self-worth. Smart people know that without peace, discipline becomes harder, productivity drops, and emotional control weakens. So they protect their peace like a treasure, because they know peace is the foundation of every great transformation. In choosing peace over popularity, they also start attracting the right kind of life. When they become peaceful from inside, their decisions become sharper, their emotions become steadier, and their direction becomes clearer. Peace strengthens their intuition. It helps them see who truly belongs in their life and who doesn't. It filters out the noise of the world and brings them closer to their real path. and when a person is on their real path, they no longer feel the need to chase acceptance from others. They become whole within themselves, and that wholeness becomes their power. Smart people avoid drama and meaningless talk because they understand how easily unnecessary words can complicate life. They know that most conflicts, misunderstandings, and emotional disturbances begin with conversations that had no purpose, no clarity, and no positive outcome. With time, they learn that every word carries energy, and if that energy is scattered in useless directions, the mind becomes restless. Smart people prefer to keep their mental space clean, and one of the easiest ways to do that is by staying away from drama. They do not involve themselves in gossip, arguments, or discussions that exist only to waste time or feed egos. They have learned, often through painful experiences, that not every comment needs a reply, not every criticism needs attention, and not every person deserves access to their emotional world. As they mature, they begin to notice the difference between talking and communicating. Talking is noise, but communicating is clarity. Most people talk without intention, without listening, and without thinking about the impact of their words. This creates confusion, tension, and emotional fatigue. Smart people, on the other hand, value intentional communication. They prefer fewer words but deeper meaning. They choose silence over arguments that lead nowhere. They avoid conversations that only exist to fill empty time. They remain quiet in rooms where people speak just to impress each other. They know that communication should add value, solve problems, build understanding, or strengthen relationships. Anything that does not serve these purposes becomes meaningless for them. They also understand the emotional cost of drama. Drama drains mental energy faster than physical work. It pulls a person into cycles of overthinking, irritation, and emotional instability. Smart people recognize this pattern early, and they choose to step away. They refuse to get involved in conflicts that do not concern their growth. They avoid people who enjoy creating problems. They distance themselves from individuals who constantly complain, criticize, or bring negativity into every conversation. They know that the human mind becomes what it consumes daily, and if it consumes emotional drama, it becomes weak, reactive, and unfocused. Therefore, they protect their mind by limiting their exposure to such environments. Another reason smart people avoid meaningless talk is because they value their time. They know that time is the real currency of life, and wasting it on unproductive conversations is one of the biggest mistakes a person can make. They focus on building skills, thinking creatively, learning new ideas, and improving themselves. They prefer using their time wisely instead of engaging in gossip, small talk, or arguments that will not matter after a few hours. To them, time is not something to be killed, it is something to be invested, and anything that does not contribute to their growth feels like a distraction. Smart people also avoid drama because they understand that peace is a choice, and conversations play a big role in that choice. They choose their words carefully and expect the same respect from others. When they sense that a conversation is shifting towards emotional chaos, they step back. When they notice manipulation, they detach. When they feel provoked, they respond with calmness instead of anger. This ability to control their reactions comes from their understanding that reacting to everything is a sign of weakness, not strength. Staying calm, staying silent, and staying detached in the face of unnecessary noise is their way of protecting their mental freedom. Over time, avoiding drama becomes a lifestyle for them. They start surrounding themselves with people who speak with purpose, people who bring ideas instead of complaints, people who want solutions instead of problems. They seek conversations that inspire them, challenge them, and expand their thinking. They look for environments where they can grow, not places where they feel drained. They begin to understand that meaningful talk builds the future, while meaningless talk destroys focus. And since smart people value clarity, direction, and emotional stability, they naturally choose the kind of conversations that support the life they want to build. Smart people protect their energy and time because they understand that both are limited, both are precious, and both decide the direction of their life. They realize that energy is not just physical strength, but emotional stability, mental clarity, and spiritual balance. When their energy is disturbed, their decisions become weaker, their focus becomes scattered, and their creativity slows down. With growth and awareness, they begin to see how easily people, situations, and distractions can drain their energy without giving anything meaningful in return. They learn that not everyone deserves access to their mind. Not every conversation deserves attention, and not every plan deserves investment. So they begin to guard their energy like a valuable resource that keeps their life moving forward. As they mature, they also start noticing how time slips away in ways that are invisible but destructive. Hours disappear in unplanned activities, unnecessary social interactions, and tasks that have no connection with their long-term goals. Smart people become painfully aware of this truth. They understand that every minute spent on something unimportant is a minute taken away from their dreams. This awareness makes them more intentional about their schedule. They begin planning their days, organizing their routines, and prioritizing activities that truly matter. They stop agreeing to everything. They stop keeping themselves available for everyone. They begin saying no without guilt, because they understand that saying yes to the wrong things steals time from the right things. Smart people also protect their energy because they have learned that humans are deeply influenced by the people they interact with. The mood, mindset, and habits of people around you slowly become part of your own identity. Negative environments drain your enthusiasm, while positive environments strengthen your discipline. Smart people observe this pattern clearly. They can instantly feel when someone's presence is heavy, when someone's words are draining, or when someone's energy is chaotic. Instead of forcing relationships or trying to fix people, they choose to step away. They keep distance from those who constantly complain, judge, or criticize. They avoid people who bring confusion, jealousy, or unnecessary drama. They prefer to walk alone rather than walk with people who weaken their spirit. Another reason smart people protect their time is because they understand that progress requires consistency. Every meaningful achievement in life comes from repeated effort done over a long period. Whether it's building a career, improving fitness, or creating something new, consistency is the real engine behind success. But consistency becomes impossible when time is wasted on distractions. Smart people know that if they lose a day, that day is gone forever. If they disturb their routine, the momentum breaks, and once momentum breaks, restarting becomes 10 times harder. So they structure their time like a disciplined system. They focus on routines that support their growth and remove everything that interrupts it. They also protect their energy because they know mental peace is the foundation of high-quality work. When the mind is calm, ideas flow smoothly, decisions become clear, and challenges feel manageable. But when the mind is disturbed, even simple tasks feel heavy. Smart people learn to guard this mental calmness. They avoid arguments that lead nowhere. They walk away from chaotic environments. They choose silence over noise and solitude over crowds, not because they dislike people, but because they understand the importance of emotional equilibrium. They value environments where their thoughts can breathe, where their emotions can settle, and where their creativity can expand without pressure. Over time, protecting their energy and time becomes a habit, not a strategy. It becomes a natural part of how they live. They build a life where distractions find no space, where unnecessary people have no access, and where every hour of their day aligns with their purpose. They move carefully, think consciously, and act intentionally. They understand that their future is shaped by how they use their time today and how they guard their energy every single moment. Smart people choose solitude for clarity and growth because they understand that the mind needs space to think, breathe, and evolve without interruption. When life becomes crowded with people, noise, and constant interaction, the inner voice becomes weak. Thoughts get mixed with opinions, emotions get influenced by the atmosphere around you, and your direction becomes blurry. Smart people notice this effect quickly. They realize that solitude is not loneliness. It is a space where they can return to themselves. It is a place where their mind becomes quiet enough to understand what truly matters. In solitude, they can reflect on their mistakes without feeling judged, review their goals without interference, and reset their inner world without pressure. This clarity becomes their strength, because every decision they make starts coming from a deeper, more peaceful place. As they grow, smart people understand that the world often pushes them into constant interaction, constant talking, and constant distraction. But growth does not happen in chaos. Growth requires silence. It requires moments where nothing pulls your attention away. It requires time where your thoughts can settle like calm water. In solitude, smart people begin to understand their patterns, their strengths, and their weaknesses. They see what habits are holding them back, what emotions are guiding them, and what dreams are calling them forward. Without solitude, these realizations remain hidden under the noise of everyday life. With solitude, everything becomes visible, honest, and real. Another reason smart people choose solitude is because they understand that creativity grows in quiet spaces. Ideas need room to develop, visions need calmness to become clear, solutions need silence to rise to the surface. When the mind is surrounded by distractions, it cannot explore deeper thoughts, but when the mind is still, it becomes sharper, more imaginative, and more focused. Smart people use solitude as a workshop for their ideas. They think, write, analyze, and create without interruption. They use this quiet time to plan their future, design their goals, and build the mental strength needed for high-level success. Solitude also helps smart people detox from negative influence. Every environment carries emotional weight. Being around the wrong people, even for a short time, can disturb the mind for hours. Negative comments, unnecessary opinions, jealousy, arguments, hidden competition, these things slowly poison the mind. Smart people step away because they feel how heavy these interactions become. In solitude, they cleanse their emotional system. They release the stress, let go of the noise, and come back to a calm state. This emotional reset allows them to stay balanced, grounded, and stable no matter what challenges come their way. Smart people also choose solitude because they understand that personal growth is an internal journey. No one else can build their discipline, strengthen their mindset, or fix their weaknesses. These things require honest self-confrontation. Solitude gives them the space to face the hard truths about themselves. They analyze their failures, study their patterns, and understand their reactions. Instead of blaming the world, they take responsibility for their growth. They learn patience, resilience, and emotional control. This inner work makes them stronger than any outward achievement could. Over time, solitude becomes their sanctuary.